Hello all and welcome back. I hope you're all doing really well. I also hope that you enjoyed yesterday's video. If you've not seen that one, go and check it out. There's a lot of decent information as well as some more Hedera use cases. Not only that as well, I've seen a lot of you recently engaging with me on Twitter, which is fantastic. So I implore you to continue sort of liking and supporting these videos. We're all sort of growing together and on this journey. I will continue to be releasing infographics over on my Twitter account. I do post them in the community tab of this YouTube channel as well, and I will be featuring them in videos anyway. But if you guys want to check out those first, go follow me on Twitter. That's where I'm primarily releasing that content. As I said, I will continue to put those infographics out as I think it's good snapshot information for how the layer 1 cryptos stack up. Plans are as well to sort of incorporate more cryptos as time goes on into those infographics. Anyway, one of the first things I wanted to look at today was the Bitcoin dominance chart. What we're seeing over the sort of last month or so is the Bitcoin dominance is continuing to trade sideways, but whenever there is a bit of a pump on the macro level for Bitcoin, the Bitcoin dominance is just continuing to fall over time. So what we can see if we look at the all-time anyway is Bitcoin dominance is steadily decreasing. That trend is continuing, and we'll probably like to see some more money flow into altcoins soon, especially after the recent resurgence in crypto. Again, a couple of videos ago I mentioned about how the world's events currently are driving people towards crypto. Please be aware that the markets are still incredibly volatile, and they will be until the Russia-Ukraine conflict is fully resolved, which may be weeks, maybe months, maybe even years. Until the main portion of that conflict has been resolved, we will be on a knife edge in terms of how the markets react. At the drop of a hat, some more information could get released, which turns things sour, and the markets are just going to absolutely dump. So please be very careful with what you're doing at the moment. I personally am just going to continue to average in. It's what I do. It's, long-term game for me. So I'm less concerned about short-term scares. If anything, as people have said, quoting the president of El Salvador, Bitcoin's utility is on display for the entire world to see, and that goes for all crypto in general. A completely decentralized breakaway finance system from traditional finance, which is easily accessible, transportable, all that sort of stuff. So all the reasons why we're in crypto are being displayed fully. Flicking over as well, just wanted to mention later in this video we'll be covering the marketing conference that Hedera did, but talking about that, we have got STADER Hedera, which is actually will be a staking platform on Hedera. They have an alpha community you guys can sign up to. You can go check them out on Twitter. But this is just confirmation as well that staking is still in the roadmap for Q2. So as smart contracts 2.0 gets finalized for deployment at the beginning of Q2, so in April, we will start to see the roadmap updated for how staking will be implemented and deployed. It looks like from tweets I've seen down here somewhere that the idea will be that they run a community node. So STADER Labs potentially will be running a community node, but they basically turned around and said they will confirm how this will be done shortly. There's one thing to be said is that if you guys do not have a Hashpack wallet yet, I really do suggest that you open a Hashpack wallet, because it doesn't matter what the platform is, they will all be interoperable with Hashpack. So you will use the services via Hashpack, a bit like you use MetaMask with other platforms like Uniswap and PancakeSwap, etc., say on the Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum. So really important to have a Hashpack wallet. Then regardless of which platform comes out first with staking, you will be able to stake your cryptos via that community node on those platforms. There's some really important stuff there, guys. Make sure you have a Hashpack wallet and you will be able to access staking as soon as it goes live. More videos to come on that anyway when it does go live. Something I touched on in previous videos anyway was that Swissborg was going to be listing Hedera. So if you guys have watched my previous videos, you'd already know that they were going to be doing this, but today, or the March 2nd, so yesterday, they have now finally listed Hbar. So again, this is more exposure for Hbar in general, and it's now purchasable over on the Swissborg app. Some brilliant stuff there. As I mentioned previously, here are the kind of infographics that I've been putting out for you guys. So the most recent one that I've just done today is the transaction count. This is a 7-day daily average. So we can see there that Hedera is pushing on the door of nearly 3 million transactions per day. Polygon at 2.7 million transactions a day. Phantom at 1.3, Ethereum at 1.2, AVAX at just over 1 billion. You've got Algorand processing, 1 million. You've got Algorand processing just over 513,000. Bitcoin 253,000 and Cardano at roughly 115,000 transactions per day. So some really bullish stuff here for Hbar and Hedera in general, that we are processing close to 3 million transactions a day, which is great stuff. I do mention here as well, Solana has been omitted. It's in my previous infographics because they include consensus transactions within the TPS figures, so it's not directly comparable to other layer ones. Anyway, I will be posting more of these over on my Twitter, so if you guys enjoy this kind of stuff, drop me a follow and interact with them. Just, I wanted to flick through this video as well. This was part of the strategic and tactical marketing plan. Just look at some really high level bits from their slideshow effectively. So we can see here that 2022 objectives is to position Hedera as the best choice for new developers coming to Web 3.0 with decentralized applications, existing smart contract developers building on competing networks, increase awareness of the Hedera for enterprise being the most stable decentralized governance at scale. Hedera is basically should be synonymous with enterprise grade public ledgers, promote enterprise use cases and launch product services and support HIP process. So how are they going to do that? So one of the first things to note is that they have got a massively increased marketing budget. They have announced that they now have an $11.6 million marketing budget that they're going to deploy throughout 2022. Further to this as well, we can see that they are focusing on increasing adoption by onboarding as many developers as they can effectively through what they're deeming an idea maze. Another interesting slide here, which for some of you that aren't too familiar with what layer 1 tech is, so they've used Ethereum as an example here, but you'd say the layer 1 effectively is Hedera. The protocols are what sits on top of this stack. So this is a stack effectively. So it'd be Hedera. You've then got your NFTs, exchanges, DeFi, lending like Hashlend, Hashpack. All these protocols sit on top. And then you've kind of got the applications that run on top of them. So this would be things like SaucerSwap integrating through to deploy NFTs and DeFi through the layer 1. So you kind of get this stack that gets built up. So they've used here, you've got Coinbase. Coinbase is the application that connects to something, and then effectively that feeds back through to the layer 1. So some interesting stuff in here. All roads lead to Hedera, so new to blockchain, crypto, and Web 3.0, so apps, and then run through effectively their smart contracts, a conversion from Ethereum and other networks, and they want to pull them onto Hedera. So this is what they're trying to push, is they're trying to say that we are the better layer 1 effectively out there. We're easier and faster to develop on. We have better scale for enterprise use. Come and use us effectively. They're going to do this through 4 different sort of sections as they're a part of their campaigns. So co-marketing and third-party communities to spread awareness, as well as advertising and sponsorships, word of mouth, and social sharing consideration. So they're going to put out more comparison guides of Hashgraph versus blockchain, ETH to Hedera, how to make the move, developer enablement content, decisions as well. So documentation, tutorials, and developer tools. They're basically going to make it as easy as possible for people to onboard into the Hedera ecosystem. And then success, they're going to community support things like Discord and Stack Overflow, future opportunities, jobs, funding, OSS contributions, etc. So they do have a general idea of what they're doing here, which is fantastic. Another interesting slide from this marketing strategy is they're talking about what's been happening. So they're basically saying the top of the iceberg is what they've been doing in terms of inbound, opportunistic, sort of natural growth marketing, SEO, webinars, etc. And what this budget of the 11.6 million they've got now, they're going to start targeting the bottom section of the iceberg. So deep architectural educational frameworks, outbound campaigns, targeted and paid media, social media advertising, drip campaigns, absolutely tons of different stuff that they're going to be deploying in 2022 to try and target this bottom portion of the iceberg, which I thought was quite a good anagram effectively for their campaign. So we see this before anyway. This is kind of what they're aiming to do. If we look at their campaign calendar, we can see we're coming to the end of Q1, as I mentioned previously. So we're sort of midway through the smart contract 2.0 deployment. That's going to end somewhere in the middle of Q2. Smart contracts hackathon is still ongoing again in Q2. In here somewhere, obviously it's not part of their campaigns, but we will see staking go live. And this is where we can see here they're talking about NFTs, DeFi, and payments, as well as third-party display advertising sponsorships. Obviously, we had ETH Denver in Q1. That's finalized now. And then going forward as well, we see other things like 2022 conference series in the UK, New York, Asia, going through into Q3 and Q4, as well as ABM program. And then throughout the year as well, third-party industry webinars, speaking with governing council members. So it should be interesting to see or hear more information from the governing council members and what their use cases are on the Hedera network. So some bullish stuff there in general. I think that was primarily it for this sort of general update here, but The idea being is they've got a much larger budget and the ad campaigns are coming. They have a strategical and tactical marketing plan. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Take it easy. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.